Never quit. This is probably the deepest rooted limiting belief I've carried throughout my life. Other versions sound like this. Just hang in there. You need to persevere. Quitting was never an option for me. Of course, this helped me push through many challenges, and I was able to achieve many amazing things because of this. So I am very grateful for this wisdom. There are many occasions I felt I'm glad I stayed. But at the same time, there are occasions now I realize I stayed too long. When I finally found the courage to call it quits, I felt like failure, long before I felt a sense of relief. Even decades later, my mind asks why I couldn't continue when other people seem to have no problem staying. And this doesn't seem like just my belief. Let's look at how we talk about quitting. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. You only fail when you quit. Pain is temporary. Quitting lasts forever. And when we face situations where quitting feels inevitable, we often soften the language. We say things like, we need to redirect. We are starting a new chapter. This is because quitting is often associated with negative labels such as failure, weakness, laziness, cowardice, and loss. But is it? Of course, there are occasions where this association can hold true. For example, when we quit simply to avoid responsibilities, challenges, or criticism. Or we quit out of fear or ego. But there are other contexts where quitting might be the right choice. Quitting can release what's not working. The word quit comes from the old French word quitter, meaning to release, set free, or pay off a debt. When you quit, you are releasing something that's not working for you anymore. You are making space for a new thing that can excite you and energize you. Something that's aligned with your current situation and current season. When you're stuck in a wrong thing, that can actually slow your progress toward what truly matters. I remember the time I finally left a job that wasn't aligned with me. Deep down, I knew almost immediately that it was the wrong fit. I stayed for a few years because of societal expectations. I didn't want to feel ashamed. But when I finally quit, something shifted. That decision freed me from those expectations and opened the door for many more amazing opportunities. That became one of my breakthrough moments. Quitting allows us to adapt and stay flexible. Imagine a world where quitting wasn't allowed. Once you made a decision, you have to stick with it forever. Every choice has to be perfectly strategic, right? But then new information arrives because the world is constantly changing. You want to adapt. You want to change your course, but you can't. The fact that we have the option to quit is a gift. We receive new information every single day. The world evolves. Our responsibilities shift. Quitting allows us to respond accordingly and live a more dynamic life. Quitting may be seen as failure, but failure is feedback. Failure is a natural part of our lives. I admit, failure hurts. It's disappointing. So I understand that we want to see it through a positive lens. But we don't have to pretend that it's always a pleasant lesson. Once we process those emotions, then we can see failure as feedback. It can help us grow or redirect us toward a better path. What are we really giving up? When we say never give up, what are we really giving up? There's a story about Mount Everest climbers in the book I'm currently reading called Quit. Climbers set a strict turnaround time before ascending the mountain so they can return safely to base camp. They are encouraged to follow this time no matter how close they are to the summit. When that time arrives, before they reach the top, they must make a difficult decision: to quit. On the surface, they are giving up on their goal. But if their ultimate goal is returning safely, then they haven't given up anything at all. Quitting the summit protects the larger objective. When you quit one thing, you may be honoring something more important. Of course, this is not encouragement to quit impulsively. There's a big difference between reactive quitting and strategic quitting. Strategic quitting releases you from unhealthy obligation, redirect you toward better opportunities, and help you focus your time and energy on what truly matters. Endurance is powerful only when it's aligned with the right path. Success does not lie in sticking to things. It lies in picking the right thing to stick to and quitting the rest. So the real question becomes, how do we know when the quitting is the right choice? We'll explore that in another episode.